Managing hybrid cloud connectivity through AWS Direct Connect previously required custom Lambda functions or on-premises network management tools to monitor BGP session health and route counts. Network engineers lacked visibility into when BGP sessions failed, when prefix limits were approaching, or when routes were silently withdrawn. You can now monitor BGP sessions natively through 3 new CloudWatch metrics for virtual interfaces. Virtual Interface BGP Status lets you detect when BGP sessions fail. Virtual Interface BGP Prefixes accepted tracks prefixes from your on-premises network, enabling you to set proactive alarms before reaching limits that cause sessions to enter idle state. Virtual Interface BGP Prefixes monitors routes AWS advertises to your network, helping you validate configuration changes and detect silent route withdrawals that impact traffic even when BGP sessions remain up. You can integrate these metrics with CloudWatch alarms, dashboards, and Amazon SNS across private, public, and transit virtual interfaces in all commercial AWS regions, reducing mean time to detect network issues and simplifying operations for multi-region and disaster recovery architectures. Writing SQL queries for analytics requires knowledge of complex joins, aggregations, and schema structures, which slows down data exploration and analysis. SageMaker Data Agent in Query Editor addresses this by allowing you to generate SQL queries from natural language prompts, converting questions like calculate quarterly revenue growth rate by product category for 2025 directly into executable SQL for Redshift and Athena. You can review step-by-step plans before the agent generates the query, ensuring the approach matches your intent. When queries fail, you can debug them with AI-powered error analysis that suggests corrections. The agent maintains context across follow-up questions by tracking your connected data sources and schema information, enabling iterative refinement without restarting the conversation. This workflow is available in the query editor within SageMaker Unified Studio across all supported AWS regions with IAM domains. Managing log centralization across multiple AWS accounts and regions traditionally required maintaining lists of individual log group names, which became difficult to manage at scale. CloudWatch Log Centralization now allows you to define centralization rules based on data source name and type instead of log group names. You can target logs by data source name and type, enabling you to centralize specific AWS service logs like VPC Flow, EKS Audit, and CloudTrail logs. This approach eliminates the need to maintain individual log group name lists, as CloudWatch automatically discovers data source information for AWS service logs and uses log group tags for application logs. You can configure rules through the console, CLI, or SDKs by specifying data source selection criteria in your centralization rule configuration. This capability is available in all AWS commercial regions where CloudWatch Log Centralization is supported, with standard CloudWatch Logs pricing for ingestion, storage, and data transfer. Managing OpenSearch cluster health requires monitoring operational metrics and acting on performance issues before they impact stability. Previously, you had to access cluster insights only through OpenSearch UI dashboards, requiring context switching to review recommendations and make changes. Now you can access cluster insights directly in the AWS Management Console to review curated insights on cluster operational health alongside performance and resilience recommendations. You can make necessary configuration changes within the same console interface without switching context. The feature publishes insights as events to Amazon EventBridge, enabling you to build automated monitoring and response workflows. This integration allows you to proactively prevent issues that could affect cluster stability or performance. Cluster Insights is available at no additional cost for OpenSearch versions 2.17 or later in all regions where OpenSearch service is available. Running bioinformatics pipelines previously required migrating data and dependencies to the same AWS region as your workflow, creating delays and complexity in your analysis process. AWS HealthOmics now supports VPC-connected workflows to eliminate these constraints. You can access AWS resources across regions through your virtual private cloud without modifying workflow code or moving data between regions. You can connect to publicly hosted datasets and internet resources using configuration APIs that let you specify VPC settings for network traffic. You can add or remove public internet dependencies at any time to adapt to changing requirements. You can configure networking settings at the per-run level, giving you control over which specific workflows use VPC connectivity. This enables faster development and testing of bioinformatics workflows by removing data migration overhead and providing network configuration through APIs.